The crimson blade hums through the air as Luke Skywalker's lightsaber clashes against his father's in the Emperor's throne room. The second Death Star shudders around them as the Rebel fleet battles desperately outside, their hopes hanging by the thinnest of threads. But in this moment, in this pivotal confrontation that would determine the fate of the galaxy, something goes terribly, irrevocably wrong. The throne room scene unfolds with devastating precision. Luke has struck down his father, serving Vader's mechanical hand with a vicious downward strike. But the Emperor has one final card to play. Good, your hate has made you powerful. As Luke stands over his fallen father, breathing heavily, Palpatine activates a holographic display showing the ground battle on Endor's surface. The image focuses on Imperial reinforcements overwhelming the Rebel strike team, Han, Chewbacca, and Leia desperately fighting against the impossible odds as stormtroopers close in around the shield generator bunker. Your sister will die with her friends unless you complete what you've started. I can order my troops to withdraw, or you can watch them burn. Luke's eyes widen in horror. Through the Force, he can sense Leia's terror, her desperate determination as she fights alongside Han and Chewie. The vision from Dagobah comes flooding back, her friends suffering, dying because of his choices. This time, it's real. It's happening now. Vader struggles to speak through his damaged respirator. Luke, you were right about me. There is still good. The lightsaber ignites again, in a moment of pure desperate rage, not calculated evil, but the kind of panic that drives a person to do the unthinkable. Luke drives the blade through his father's chest. Vader's words are cut short. The mechanical breathing that has haunted the galaxy for decades finally, permanently stops. The throne room falls silent except for the distant rumble of battle and the Emperor's triumphant laughter echoing off the walls. Luke staggers backward, his lightsaber falling from nerveless fingers. The reality of what he's done crashes over him like a tidal wave. Emperor Palpatine doesn't waste a second. This is what he's been orchestrating for years. Excellent, young Skywalker. You have done what I could never do. You have freed yourself from the burden of sentiment. I didn't mean to. Of course you didn't, but you did what was necessary. Vader would have betrayed us both eventually. His weakness would have been our downfall. You saw this, felt it through the Force. Your actions were not murder, they were survival. Through the viewport, the Imperial fleet ceases fire on the Rebel ships. The sudden silence in space is more deafening than the battle that preceded it. Palpatine gestures grandly at the scene. Behold, your sister lives. Your friends live, because you had the strength to do what others could not. Luke's knees give out and he collapses beside his father's body. The dark side energy in the room is overwhelming, feeding on his guilt, his anger at himself, his desperate need to believe that what he's done wasn't for nothing. The pain you feel is the pain of transformation. Vader clung to his past, to his weakness, but you can be stronger. You can ensure that no one else you love suffers as you did. What do you want from me? Kneel before me and I will save your sister. Swear loyalty to me and your friends will be spared. The rebellion will be offered terms of surrender. Exile, not execution. All I ask is that you accept what you have already become. Luke looks at his hands, still trembling. The Force shows him glimpses of possible futures. Leia dying in space, Han and Chewie captured and tortured, the rebellion crushed completely. And in all of these visions, one constant remains. His father's body cooling on the throne room floor. He kneels. Before we move on, if you're enjoying this video, take a second to like and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch these videos without subscribing. Imagine what we could accomplish if everyone subscribed. Thanks for your continued support. The coronation is witnessed only by the Imperial guards. Palpatine presents Luke with a new lightsaber, one crafted specifically for this moment. Its blade turns crimson, but with a different quality than traditional Sith weapons. Rise, Lord Skywalker. The name hangs in the air like a death sentence. Not Darth something or other, as Sith tradition would normally dictate. By keeping Luke's name, Palpatine ensures that every act of darkness will be associated with the hero who was supposed to save them all. Admiral Akbar receives a transmission that defies all logic. The Imperial fleet is standing down. Emperor Palpatine appears on the communication array, with a black-robed figure standing silently at his side. Admiral, I offer the rebellion terms of surrender. Your leaders will be granted exile to worlds of their choosing. Your soldiers will be pardoned and allowed to return to their home systems. All I require is the dissolution of your alliance and the return of stolen Imperial property. And if we refuse? The hooded figure steps forward and lowers his hood. The bridge falls silent as Luke Skywalker's face is revealed, his eyes bearing the faintest tinge of yellow. Then you will all die, and the Emperor will rule through fear alone. I've seen this future, Admiral. I've seen what happens to Leia, to Han, to all of you if you continue to fight. I won't let that happen. Leia feels it the moment Luke kneels before the Emperor. Across the galaxy, through their Force bond, she experiences a sudden agonizing emptiness where her brother's presence used to be. She's aboard the Millennium Falcon, having escaped the shield generator bunker moments before Imperial reinforcements arrived. Han is piloting them away from Endor when Leia suddenly doubles over as if struck by a physical blow. Leia, what's wrong? Luke, something's happened to Luke. When the surrender teams arrive, the rebellion faces an impossible choice. Mon Mothma argues for accepting the terms, but Leia knows better. Through the Force, she can sense the darkness now surrounding her brother like a shroud. We can't trust him. Whatever happened to Luke on that Death Star, he's not the same person who went to face Vader. We have to assume the worst case scenario. If Skywalker has joined the Emperor willingly, then he knows all of our tactics, our safe houses, our allies. We need to restructure everything. The rebellion agrees to a public surrender, a necessary deception to buy time, but privately they begin implementing the Shadow Protocol. The new resistance will be smaller, more secretive, and infinitely more paranoid. Luke's training on Biss, the Emperor's hidden throne world, is unlike anything the Sith have practiced before. Palpatine doesn't try to eliminate Luke's connection to the light side entirely. Instead, he teaches Luke to weaponize his guilt. Feel the weight of your father's death. Let it fuel your strength. Every life you save by serving me justifies his sacrifice. It's a psychological masterstroke. Luke's anger is turned inward, creating a self-sustaining cycle of guilt and power that grows stronger with each passing day. His fighting style evolves to reflect his internal conflict, combining the disciplined precision of Jedi training with the raw emotion of the Sith. When Lord Skywalker arrives to quell a rebellion on Sullust, he doesn't massacre civilians. Instead, he broadcasts a message offering surrender terms. Within 6 months, dozens of systems that had been on the verge of joining the rebellion instead quietly returned to Imperial control. But Luke is not entirely alone in his darkness. On Biss, he's visited by Force ghosts that refuse to abandon him. Obi-Wan appears regularly, sitting in silent meditation in Luke's quarters. Why don't you leave me? I've become everything you warned me against. A Jedi does not abandon those in need, Luke, no matter how far they may fall. I murdered my father. I served the man who destroyed the Jedi Order. What possible hope is there for me? Hope lies not in the fall, but in the choice to rise. Made this choice, you have not. Yet. The Emperor allows these visitations to continue, using Luke's connection to his former mentors as another source of guilt. Let them come. Let them see what their teachings have wrought. Perhaps next time they'll choose their students more carefully. While Luke consolidates Imperial control, Leia seeks out every scrap of Jedi knowledge that survived the Purge. Her training is nothing like Luke's formal education. She learns from fragments, developing her own unique approach to the Force that emphasizes empathy and connection, rather than individual power. During one intense meditation, she manages to project a memory directly into Luke's consciousness, the two of them laughing together on Endor before the mission began. For just a moment, Luke remembers what it felt like to hope without reservation. The connection lasts only seconds, but it's enough. For the first time in months, Luke questions whether his path is truly the right one. 3 years pass. Luke has become the Emperor's most effective agent, but the Empire's victory is built on an unstable foundation. The crisis comes when a rebellion cell on Naboo attempts to assassinate Luke during a diplomatic mission. Instead of hunting down the rebels, Luke offers them exile terms. The people of Naboo are not our enemies. They're frightened. Killing their children will only breed more rebels. Palpatine's response is swift and brutal. He orders the orbital bombardment of the Naboo city where the rebel cell operated, killing thousands of innocent civilians. That night, alone in his quarters, Luke stares out at the stars and feels the weight of every life lost. For the first time since Endor, Luke allows himself to truly examine his choices. He reaches out through the Force, feeling the fear on 1,000 worlds, the despair of beings who have lost hope for freedom. And underlying it all, he feels the Emperor's presence, cold, calculating, and utterly without mercy. That's when Leia reaches him again. This time, she doesn't need memories of the past. Instead, she projects a vision of the future. She's pregnant, and through the Force bond, Luke experiences her joy at new life growing within her. Luke, I need you to come home. Leia orchestrates her own capture with strategic brilliance, timing her arrival on Coruscant to coincide with Luke's return from Naboo. The reunion takes place in the same throne room where Vader died. Sister! Luke, I've missed you. How touching. The last member of your family has come to join you, my young apprentice. The circle is now complete. But Leia refuses to play by the Emperor's rules. When Palpatine orders Luke to strike her down, she doesn't resist. Instead, she begins to speak. Do you remember the binary sunset on Tatooine? You told me about it once, how you used to watch the sun set and dream about adventure among the stars. You said the desert was beautiful in its own way, but that you always knew you were meant for something else, something that would help people. Luke's lightsaber wavers in his hand. Silence! I'm pregnant, Luke. Han and I are going to have a child, your nephew or niece. They'll grow up knowing stories about their uncle Luke, the hero who saved the galaxy, unless you decide that's not who you want to be. The words hit Luke like a physical blow. Through the Force, he can sense the new life growing within his sister, innocent, untouched by the darkness. All of his careful justifications crumble. I can't. I won't. Then you will share her fate, young fool. Force lightning erupts from Palpatine's fingertips, but Luke is no longer the broken young man who knelt in this room 3 years ago. As the lightning courses through him, he absorbs it, channels it, and turns it back on his master. The duel that follows incorporates both light and dark side techniques, fueled by 3 years of suppressed doubt and the overwhelming desire to truly save someone. When Luke finally drives his blade through the Emperor's chest, the action mirrors his killing of Vader, but with one crucial difference. This time, Luke is choosing light over darkness. Luke kneels beside Leia, using the Force to heal her injuries. I'm sorry. You came back. That's what matters. Luke's return to the light doesn't magically undo 3 years of darkness. The galaxy is in chaos as Imperial warlords scramble to fill the power vacuum. The new republic that emerges is more cautious, more aware of how quickly heroes can become tyrants. Luke himself bears permanent scars. The yellow tinge never completely leaves his eyes, and his understanding of the Force has been fundamentally altered. So he makes the hardest choice of all: exile. I have to go. Not because of what I've done, but because of what I might do again. The dark side. It never really leaves you once you've tasted it. I understand. But Luke, you saved me. You saved all of us in the end. Only after I nearly destroyed everything. I won't make that mistake again. Luke's exile takes him to the ancient Jedi world of Ossus, where he begins a different kind of study. Instead of training to become more powerful, he seeks to understand the balance between light and dark, to find wisdom in the failures of both the Jedi and the Sith. When Ben Solo is born, Luke feels the child's presence through the Force and weeps, not from sadness, but hope and fear. This new generation will grow up knowing the full truth about what happened to Luke Skywalker. They'll understand the heroism that isn't about moral purity, but about making the right choice even after you've made the wrong one. The galaxy rebuilds slowly, scared but wiser. The New Republic implements checks and balances designed to prevent any single individual from wielding the kind of power that Luke once possessed. The new Jedi Order teaches emotional honesty rather than suppression, creating support networks to prevent the isolation that contributed to Luke's fall. And somewhere on a remote world, watching twin suns set over ancient Jedi ruins, Luke Skywalker continues his vigil. He's no longer the galaxy's shining hero, but perhaps he's something more important. A reminder that redemption is always possible, no matter how far you've fallen, as long as you're willing to face the truth about yourself and choose to do better. This is the power of choices and consequences, a story that shows us that even in our darkest moments, when we've made choices that seem unforgettable, the light side of the Force never truly abandons us. Sometimes the greatest act of heroism isn't saving the galaxy with a lightsaber, but saving yourself with the simple decision to stop running from who you really are. If this exploration of Star Wars' darker possibilities has ignited your imagination, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the galaxy far, far away. Because in a universe as rich and complex as Star Wars, every choice creates ripples that stretch across time and space, and sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones that ask, what if our heroes had chosen differently?